All right, so it's estimated that only about 3.5% of players in the major sports take performance-enhancing drugs. However, the tests for these drugs are only 90% accurate. Use a tree diagram to find the probability that a specific player is a steroid user given that she tested positive for steroids. It says tree diagram, right? So what's the first thing it says? You're either what or what? You're either using a steroid or not. Steroid or no steroid. And that would be 0.035 take steroids, and then what percent don't? 96.5, not 99. 1 minus the 0.035? Yeah. Oh, I remember. I'll tell you, I was just about to say, I said something that I forgot to say. I'll tell you about the conference I went to yesterday. So you're either on steroids or you're not. And then what's the other part of the problem? Well, I'm going to assume all of these are athletes at this point.
If it's accurate or not.
Whether the test they're given is accurate or not. So either accurate test or bad test. Accurate test or bad test. What's the likelihood of an accurate test? So we'll have 0.90, 0.10, so 0.90, 0.10. So go ahead, use your calculator, kind of populate these areas. So like the probability of being a steroid user and being found guilty of using steroids would be 0.035 times 0.90, or that would be 0.0315, that you're on steroids and the test caught you. So out of all the people in this sport, there's about a 3.15% that you use steroids and you get caught. So look at the next one, the percent chance that you were taking steroids but didn't get caught. Say that louder. You got it. So there's a very low chance, less than 1% of a chance, about 1/3 of a percent of a chance, that you take steroids and then you didn't get caught. So looking back down here, that you're not on steroids and the test proves that you're not on steroids, 0.965 times 0.9. I totally agree with you. Now, the real worst case scenario, that you're not on steroids, but the test was wrong and it turns out it said you were. So yeah, that's the problem. In between 9 and 10% of the time, you won't be on steroids, but the test says you were. So that's kind of bogus, isn't it? But use the tree diagram to find the probability that a player is a steroid user. Probability that you are a steroid user given that tested positive. So think of, well, what's the probability that you're a steroid user? You will be adding in a second, but the first one you could look at the probability of being a steroid user because there's two instances here, but it does list it. What's the probability you're a steroid user? Yeah, 0.035. 3.5% of the athletes are using steroids. Given that you tested positive. I'm not going to say 90%. What are the two that... Well, actually, wait, where are you getting that 90%? not going to say that. Look at the 4 different outcomes of this tree diagram. What are the 2 that you tested positive for? Actually, so what is it? And you know what I just also kind of realized? Put those 2 together. What are they? Are they? Put those 2 together. I don't think they should be over 1. They're 0.9, aren't they? Well, 86 plus 3 is 89, and the 85 plus 15 is another one, so 90. So 0.035 out of 90. Should get right about 0.0389. Okay? Let's see how far we... Yeah, I'll go back up.